Good morning, friends. I thought we could start today by reading some stories. It's a little bit rainy outside here today, so I thought maybe it'll be a good day for a quick book. So I'm missing all of you so much, and I wanted you to know that every day I wake up with a smile in my heart, and I have hope in my heart because I know that soon we'll see each other, right? So I'm ready for a story. Here we go. Now show me those ready hands. Good. Show me those watching eyes, listening ears. Yep. And calm, quiet body. All right. We look like we're ready for a story. This story, the title is Planting a Rainbow. I'm just going to move this over a smidge so you can see it a little bit better. Here we go. Oh, I can move this way. That works out good. Okay, Planting a Rainbow by Lois Ehlert. Planting a Rainbow, written and illustrated by Lois Ehlert. Now, that means that she wrote the words, and she also did the pictures for this story. And I thought this would be a good one that, to read because it talks about flowers and different things that you might see in the spring and all the colors that are coming up. Those things are bringing me joy right now. I'm seeing lots of yellow flowers outside. Those forsythia, they're starting to come. I saw some purple flowers. I saw some crocuses coming up in my grass outside in my yard. So I thought maybe you could go on an adventure in your yard and see what color flowers you see. But let's read this for now, and then later with your family, maybe on a different day that's not so rainy, you could go outside and think about what flowers and what colors you see. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. Look at this. It says, orange tiger lily bulbs. There it is. See it under the ground? This brown part would be the dirt. And up here would be, they put some sticks here to say this is where we've planted a bulb. A bulb is almost like a kind of big fat seed that we plant in the ground, right? We might plant red tulip bulbs. Look at this, the red tulip bulb. And look at, you can even see it. Looks like it's going to start to grow a plant here maybe. Orange tulip bulbs. Yellow daffodil bulbs, the daffodil, blue hyacinth bulb, purple crocus bulb, and purple bearded iris rhizome. Oh, interesting. Let's see. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long. Phlox and morning glory, zinnia, aster, cornflower, marigold, and daisies. These are all different kinds of flowers. I'm noticing that these have a lot of different shapes. I see some that are kind of pointy in their shape, and also I see some that have got some rounded kind of petals. Yeah, so I remember that flowers have all different parts. We might see petals, we might see some stems or even some leaves on flowers, right? This is the time of the year in the spring that we might see some of those things starting to happen outside. So here it says that we order some of these seeds from catalogs. Sometimes we do that for spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. So we need the sun to help warm up that dirt, that soil, to help make things grow. So the bulbs are here, and look at, they started to grow up through the dirt. Look what color they are when they come through. Do you see that? Looks like it's growing a little plant there, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. And then it grew a little more. Wow, and look, it has all these different color leaves, different shaped leaves. So the sun helps to warm up the soil and the ground to help those bulbs grow. Then it's time to go to the garden center to select some seedlings. Yeah, Mrs. Wise does this sometimes. I might go to Home Depot, or I might go to a flower shop that's near me that has some neat flowers. I also like to go to Ward's Berry Farm. Have you ever been there in Sharon? That's a fun place to go because they sometimes will have little wagons like this. I When my girls, Sophie and Sabrina, were a little bit smaller, they like to sit inside that wagon when I do my shopping. And I would pull them around to go maybe pick some blueberries even, or to find some seedlings to take home to put in my garden. Okay, let's see. Oh, and wait, with this wagon, Mrs. Wise would use the handle, and I would think about force and motion, and I would give it a pull to pull my kids along. They would yell, "Mom, go faster, go faster." So Mrs. Wise would have to run. Yeah, I'd have to run and give them a big fast ride. Isn't that silly? All right. We sow the seeds and set out the plants in the soil. Now, when they say that they sow the seeds, it's not the same kind of sewing like we do with a needle and thread. It's not that kind of pulling and putting things together with the needle and the thread. This means that we put the seeds in the ground to sow, and we let them start to bloom a little bit before we put them in the soil. And then we watch the rainbow grow. Wow, look at all of these beautiful colors. Can you see them? Oh my goodness. Those beautiful bulbs that were planted in the ground are turning into the flowers now. They've grown. I see that outside of the dirt, we've got some stems and some petals at the top. And I see some leaves. Now the stem of the flower helps to hold the flower up because this top part of the flower gets kind of heavy. So this part that comes up called the stem has to be very strong so that the petals can be held up at the top, right? Oh, and here are all the different kinds. Look, tiger lily and daisy, phlox and aster, marigold. This is what the actual flowers look like. Marigolds, zinnias. Oh, they're just starting. They're not growing yet. They're not finished. Look at morning glory. That looks like a twisty kind of vine-like flower. Cornflower, iris, rose. Oh, rose bushes. You have to be careful because they have those little thorns on the side that might poke you if you touch them. Yeah. Violet, carnations, delphinium, poppies, pansies, and even a plant called a fern. Really cool. And they keep growing. Wow. Look at this color that's happening here. They grow and they grow. Look at these beautiful flowers. All the colors. I see red. I see red, and I see orange, and I see yellow. Do you see green? I see lots of green here, and blue, and I see purple. Is that why it's called planting a rainbow? Do we plant a real rainbow, or just flowers that when they grow and bloom, they turn into the colors of the rainbow? Really neat. So beautiful. Oh, and then it tells us which ones are the different colors. Look at this pretty rainbow. Look at red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Wow. And I remember when we do our writing, and even when we're thinking in our heads about different stories we want to tell, maybe our mom or our dad or our mama, we might decide to use these color words as describing words. So when we're thinking about things like maybe we might think about like a train. We might say, Mom, I saw a purple train, right? So we can use these color words to help us describe things. My daughter Sabrina came down the stairs and said, Mom, have you seen my orange basketball? Then I knew which one she was looking for and I could help her, right? My daughter Sophie woke up and she said, Mom, have you seen my blue paint? I want to do some painting today. So then I knew which paint to help her go find. So using these describing colors can help us know what you're thinking about, okay? All right, so here in this story, we talk about, we've got some red flowers, the rose and the carnation and the tulips. Those are all red. These flowers are all orange. Ooh, yes. I'm starting to see some tulips poking up in my yard now. I don't see the color yet. I just see the leaves poking up through the ground. They're starting to sprout. We've got the tiger lilies. These grow in lots of different places. They're very hardy. And the poppy, those are all orange flowers. Here's some yellow. I'm seeing lots and lots of these in my yard right now outside. We're seeing these daffodils starting to grow. And Mrs. Wise posted on the class dojo, the daffodils that we were watching outside of our classroom have grown. They have grown. And so if you ask your mom or dad or mama to go look outside, you'll notice if you ask them to go in the dojo, you'll see a picture of those daffodils, the ones that we were looking at outside our classroom. I drove by and took a picture for us. Yay. So yeah, we see marigolds and daisies. These are all some yellow flowers. Here we go. Oh, these are some green things that we might see. These are some green things that we might see. We might see some plants or things growing that are green. Yeah, some ferns that could be growing. And then we've got some blue flowers here. Look at all of these different flowers. There's that morning glory that was kind of twisty and turny, right? And they've got big heart-shaped leaves. Do you see that? It's a morning glory. Delphinium is a tall flower. It's got lots of little flowers on there. Look at that. It's got a big tall stem. This is a hyacinth. And this flower smells very, very pretty when you smell that one. That smells good. And the cornflowers have very long stems with puffs at the end. They're so fun to see. All of these flowers are blue. And then we'll go to purple. Oh, yes. Mrs. Wise loves irises. These are irises here. And phlox, I have some of these in my front yard. Crocuses, we've seen these already. These are poking up too now. Yes, outside in my yard, I saw them. They come first. They're so good to see. And we see some pansies. We might see some of those soon, and asters and violets. Violets kind of hang over sometimes. Remember how I said the stem holds them up? Sometimes that flower might hang off a little bit because it's getting super heavy. All right. And all summer long, we can pick them and bring them home. Wow, look at that beautiful rainbow of colors. Really cool. And when summer is over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year. So good. So that's our story all about planting a rainbow. I hope you liked it as much as I did. Please enjoy the flowers that are in your yard. There's something that gives us, makes us think about growing and learning every day. All right. I'll see you soon.